Let's see. I believe Ms. Smith is facilitating. Are we waiting on anyone else to join us, Ms. Smith?
No, Your Honor, there's no one in the waiting room.
Okay. And I know Mr. Howard has dropped by the courtroom, and he'll be back momentarily. There's no one in court with me as yet. So it's a little after 9. Let me begin. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fulton State Court. I'm Judge Eric Morrow, and will be presiding over court this morning. This court session is known as the Orca Peremptory calendar. This calendar consists of a variety of types of cases. Many of them are older cases that we are seeking to get resolved today or at some time in the near future. For defendants in cases, let me just instruct you, first off, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We have public defenders that are present today for those of you who qualify and wish to utilize their services. We also have solicitors present that can give you recommendations on how to resolve the matter today. If you're not happy with what the solicitors offer you, you can either enter a non-negotiated plea or plead not guilty. If you plead not guilty, you can either request a bench trial or a jury trial. If you request a bench trial, then you'll come back to me and I will schedule that for a time in the very near future. If you request a jury trial, then the case is going to be returned to the division judge and they will get that scheduled for resolutions. If for the attorneys, if there are any motions that you need to file and need to be heard prior to trial, then you'll come back to me also and I'll hear those motions at a date certain also. When I call your name, please let me know that you are here. Let me know if you have a private attorney or if you'd like to seek the assistance of a public defender this morning if you qualify. Position 1, Johnny Barlow. Is Mr. Barlow present? Position 2, April Marshall. Position 3, Emmett Williams. Position 4, Yaroslav Kunzyetson, Kunzyetson.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Good morning, sir. Can you pronounce your last name for me?
Yes, it's Kuznetsov.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Have you sought the assistance of a public defender? Would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender, or do you have a private attorney that's going to represent you on this charge today?
I don't have an attorney, and I'm not seeking a public defense. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to enter a null pros for that case.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. The solicitors has informed that the case is going to be null pros. Basically, it's going to be dismissed. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Goodbye. Position 5, Joseph Burge. Position 6, Victoria Bailey.
That'll be a null pros, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Position 7, Patrick Thomas.
Same announcement, Your Honor, null pros.
Position 8, Daniel Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
Good
I'm
morning,
here.
Judge.
Sorry.
And
That's a null pros,
I'm
Your
here
Honor.
as well, Judge. This is Mike Antonioli for.
Okay. Mr. Antonioli, it looks like you're having some trouble for us hearing you, but Mr. Henderson says that that case is going to be null pros. Is that correct, Mr. Henderson?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Do you have any other cases on this calendar, Mr. Antonioli?
No, Judge, I have another Zoom hearing at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Can I ask how I can get a copy of the null pros?
I guess when it's filed that
Yeah.
you can, do you have the case number for?
I do have the case number. It's 17 CR
Right, right.
015.
I have the case number, Mr. Antonelli. Mr.
Oh,
Henderson,
okay.
I take it that when you file it, that Mr. Antonelli can go online and get a copy of it. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, I've prepared these last night so I can email them ASAP to the litigation manager. Who is that today, Your Honor?
Today I have in court with me Miss Casey Strong.
Casey Strong. Should
Yes.
should I email her my email address?
Well, Mr. Henderson is
Sure.
going to get the NALPROS to me. I'll get it signed and we'll get it entered into the system. And then once we do that, then you can go in and pull a copy of it if you like.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And
All right.
and thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Sure, no problem.
All right. And you have a great day. You and Mr. Mitchell are free to go.
Thank you.
You be safe. Take
All
care.
right, you do the same. Position 9, Robert Glover.
That'll be a null process, Your Honor.
Position 10, Emmett Williams.
It's another valid license. I'm null processing that.
Position 11, Pedro Alcator Torres.
Also a null process, Your Honor.
Position 12, Reginald Wingfield.
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Wingfield.
Good morning.
Good morning. Have you sought the assistance of a private attorney or a public defender?
I'm working on an attorney, but I would like to have a public defender.
Okay, so we have Mr. Vale here this morning. And Mr. Vale, I don't know if we have in the chat yet, how has Mr. Wingfield been in touch with you? I take it not.
Your Honor, he has not spoken to me. He may have spoken to Ms. Davis already, but in the chat there is, and if I may, Your Honor, I'd also like to say this for any other clients, potential clients that may be on the line. In the chat, there is an email address and information for how to apply for our services. We would be happy to talk to anyone, but you must complete the application before we can represent you.
Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Wingfield, how to complete the application, as was said by Mr. Bill, is going to be in the chat. You go ahead and get that done, and I'll get back with you during the course of this calendar, okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions?
No, sir. How do I get to the chat?
Are you on a telephone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you might have to go into, it'll be 3 dots that you might have to hit, and then there'll be an icon that says chat.
Okay. Thank you so much, Judge.
Okay, you're welcome. We also have position 13 with Pedro Alcatar Torres. Position 14, Misha Davis.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Miss Davis.
morning.
Good morning. Same question to you. Do you have a private attorney, or would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender?
Yes, sir. I don't have a private attorney. Yes, sir. I would like a defender.
Oh, all right. Did you hear what I said to Mr. Wingfield earlier?
No,
And-
sir. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Okay. It's the application of how to get to apply. It's going to be in the chat. So if you'll go to the chat and fill out the application to see if you qualify for the services of the public defender. And once you do that, we'll get back with you later in the calendar. Okay.
Okay.
You have any questions about that?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
And Your Honor, good morning. I'm Erica Marshall Story with the Office of the Solicitor General. I'm working the calendar with Mr. Henderson, so I'll be of assistance as soon as the defendant is able to speak with an attorney and decide if that's the route she wants to proceed. I'm also happy to speak with her if she is not interested in being represented.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your Honor, I had some notes here on that case. This is one of those rent to own places. This is 2016. I think they might just have to do without that, whatever it was, $200 they probably have invested in it, because I'm not going forward on this case for $1,500 restitution. I'm now processing this.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm in consent with that also. So thank you very much, Mr. Henderson.
Sure.
And Your Honor, if I may, if Ms. Wingfield has any further questions, I'm happy to explain that to her. She doesn't need to fill out an application.
Okay, well, they're now processing it, so she's not going to need the assistance this morning. So thank you, Mr. Vale. You understand that, Ms. Davis, what's happened?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so the solicitor's office is not going to prosecute on this case. They're going to now prosecute the case, which means that basically they're going to dismiss the case. All right.
Oh, okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Far as the bonding information, because I had cash, what do I do about that? Do I have to go down to the?
You're going to have to contact the bonding company and they'll let you know. Okay.
No, I had to pay at the jail, so I have to contact the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You have a good day.
All right. You all too. Thank you.
Thank you. Position 15, Nathan Harrison.
Your Honor, that's that defendant's in prison in Mississippi, so I'm on now process that case.
Okay. Position 16, Sonny Brickhouse. Sony Brickhouse.
Good morning, Your Honor. Craig Murphy from Miss Brickhouse.
Good morning, Mr. Murphy. Have you been able to get in touch with the solicitor regarding this case?
I have not spoken to anyone, Your Honor, but if it's possible to this morning, I'm happy to. I've got some information to share with them.
Okay. How do you all want to do this, Mr. Henderson? Let's get to the end of the calendar and then I can either put you all in breakout rooms or you can call each other to see about resolution.
Your Honor, I had the first 16 cases and this is number 16. So whenever you want, I can go to a breakout room.
Okay, so so we've handled all your cases then, Mr. Henderson. Why don't I just go ahead and put you and Mr. Murphy in a breakout room so that you can discuss, okay?
Sounds good, Your Honor.
All right, very good, thank you. Is that fine with you, Mr. Murphy?
That's fine with me, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. So Ms. Smith, if you'll put them in the breakout room for us. Position 17, Marcus Brown. Position 18, Gary Norman.
Yes, sir. I'm here, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Norman.
Good morning.
Let's see. Do we have an announcement from the solicitor's office on what is going to be done with this case?
Your Honor, I do not. If Mr. Henderson has one and can share it, that would be wonderful. At this point, I need to do a bit more investigation, but if there's an attorney present, I'll be prepared to speak with him very, very shortly.
Okay, and I don't know if you heard, but Mr. Murphy is now in a breakout room. So, and it's my understanding that the rest of the cases on the calendar that you will be handling. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. And so, let me get back with you, Mr. Norman. Mr. Vale, would you handle this suspended revoked license if he qualifies?
Yes, Your Honor. If he qualifies, I will handle it. And I would also, if I may, some of these individuals have already applied several years ago to the public defender office. Some have then subsequently decided to hire a private attorney and now are back being represented by us. So I apologize in advance if it's a little unclear in terms of,
We'll work our way through it, Mr. Vale. That's fine. So,
And Your Honor, I may be able to assist Mr. Henderson. Would you mind just running his license and seeing if it's valid, and we may be able to dispose of this pretty quickly?
They are not.
They are not valid. Okay, well,
Right.
thank you. We'll move forward from there.
okay. So, Mr. Norman, would you like to seek the assistance of the public defender this morning?
I would.
Okay. So, did you hear my instructions on how to make that application?
I did. Yes, sir.
So, go ahead and do that, and I'll get back with you at the end of the calendar. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Position 19, Amber Cole.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Hi, Ms. Cole. Do you have a private attorney, or would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender?
Yes, I need a public defender, and I filled out the thing already.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll get back with you at the conclusion of the calendar. Ms. Cole,
Thank you.
you. And on any of these, Madam Solicitor, if you are going to null pros them, would you please let us know?
Yes, I definitely will, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Position 20, Charles Jones. Position 21, Mitchell Hill. Position 22, Jerobe Connor.
I'm here.
Hi, Mr. Connor. Good morning. Have you sought the assistance of a private attorney, or would you like the assistance of a public defender if you qualify this morning?
I don't have an attorney, but I'm not sure if I need a public defender or not for this case.
You're charged with simple battery, family violence. You might want to speak with someone regarding that, and Mr. Vale is here if you qualify, so I don't see any harm in it.
Okay, I will do that. So,
all right. So, have you heard me of how to go about qualifying for his services?
yes, I already sent an email. I'm not sure I have a application sent out yet.
Okay. All right. So we'll get back to you at the end of the calendar, Mr. Connor.
And Your Honor, yes, if this helps the defendant, we are not able to null pros this case, and so it is probably best that you have representation while we try and come up with an offer that perhaps will be amenable to both the state and to you.
Okay, thank you. We'll get back with you, Mr. Connor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Position 23, Annie Fields. Notice returned. Position 24, Amanda Andrews. I'm told Ms. Andrews is in custody, so she is going to be rescheduled for the Orca calendar that is on March 2nd. Position 25, Angelo Zachary. Position 26, Kamal Morgardo. Position 27, Gary Norman.
Yes, so I'm here. I'm supposed to be doing the application
Okay.
for the public defender.
All right. So thank you, Mr. Norman. So we'll get back with you at the end of the calendar. Thank you, sir. Position 28, Mario Spencer. Position 29, Desmond Sperling. Good morning, Mr. Sperling. We're gonna, would you like to seek the assistance of a public defender today? Okay. Mr. Howard is not in the courtroom right now. He's in another court. As soon as he gets back, I'll let him know that you're with us in person, and you can make an application to see if you qualify for his services, okay? All right, any questions for me? All right, just sit tight. Thank you. Position 30, Emmanuel Sheets. Position 31, Irate Holmes. Is there anyone on the Zoom call whose name I did not call? And for those, Ms. Marshall's story that were not present at from 17 through 31 that I believe you're handling, if you decide to null process any of those cases, even if they're not here, would you let me know, please?
Your Honor, I definitely will do that. And what is the court's position on those cases that are not going to be no pros and the defendant is not in court? Are you issuing a bench warrant on this first occasion?
It is my understanding that what we're going to do is I'm going to reschedule these cases for my next status calendar, which is going to be on March 2nd. At that time, if they do not show and they have already been on a calendar before, it's my understanding that we're going to issue bench warrants.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So for this initial calendar, we will not be issuing any bench warrants today, okay?
Yes, thank you. That's more than understandable.
Okay, very good. All right, so on Zoom, anyone's name that I did not call or that came late? Do I have anyone in the courtroom that whose name I did not call or who came in late? All right.
This is 1:16, Judge. This is one, going to be Mr. Barlow. Right here, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Barlow, Mr. Henderson, have you decided what you're going to do with Mr. Barlow's case? He's position 1 and he's in court with me.
Believe that was going to be an all pros. Once I went back and looked at it, let me go back. Obviously looking at the wrong calendar. There we go. Mr. Barlow's license is valid. It's going to be null pros.
Okay. Did you hear that, Mr. Barlow? Your case is going to be dismissed. Okay. You have any questions for me? All right, you're free to go.
Next is position 16, Judge, Ms. Brickhouse, position 16.
Okay.
That was my case, Your Honor. Craig Murphy from Ms. Brickhouse.
Okay, yes, Ms. Brickhouse, your attorney's on Zoom with us, okay? So do you have an announcement in that case, Mr. Murphy?
Judge, I think we have it resolved.
Okay, what's the resolution going to be?
Your Honor, she has completed several steps of our diversion program, so I'm going to be null processing that.
Okay. So Ms. Brickhouse, it's my understanding your attorney's on Zoom with us. He has talked with the solicitor. Your case is also going to be dismissed. It's going to be null process, okay? Any questions for the court? All right, can she be dismissed, Mr. Murphy?
She can, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, have a good day, ma'am. Anything further on this calendar, Mr. Murphy?
That concludes my business, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Henderson, I'll send you that stuff right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so it appears that we have called the calendar. We have a number of people that are seeking the assistance of a public defender. So and we have one person in here that's waiting in the courtroom with me who is waiting on Mr. Howard. So as soon as you all have an announcement regarding those cases, if you'll let me know.
Your Honor, for the individual in the courtroom, I believe Miss Davis, our paralegal, is bringing him a paper application if she hasn't done so already.
Okay.
And I will put my number in the chat for any attorney that may want to speak offline, so we can try and resolve any cases we have after calendar number 16.
Okay. So any questions right now? If not, the court will be in recess until further notice, or you all have an announcement for us. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Just
Your Honor.
when you have an announcement, just come back on. I'll be here. So just let me know. All right.
And can I just get a names quickly? I'm sorry, I'm new to this process of any attorney that would like to speak with me offline.
I think the only attorney that we have left is Mr. Vale from the
Mr.
public
Vale.
defender's office, right?
And Mr. Vale, I believe we have 2 cases to discuss.
Two as of now, and a few applications pending. So I will be handling anyone who's on Zoom. Mr. Derek Howard will be who's also from our office, will be handling Mr. Sperling, who is in person. And
Okay.
I'll put my number in the chat.
Okay, I've just put mine in. So after you've had an opportunity to speak with your client or potential client, feel free to call me. I'll be waiting for you. Mr. Howard may already have my number, but I'll go ahead and just include it, or you can forward it to him. And I'll be waiting for those calls.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, and Your Honor, what time are we recessing until?
Until somebody comes back. I'll be sitting right here. Okay. So
Okay.
we'll take them in order that they when they're ready. Okay.
Okay. Thank
you. Your Honor, if I may make just another brief kind of general announcement.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Brown.
For the defendants that are still filling out applications, the sooner you are able to fill that out and submit it to us, the sooner we can help you. But again, we have to have that application completed, but before we know whether or not we can represent you. So please do that as quickly as you can.
All right. And if you're having trouble with an application for whatever reason, please let us know so that we can either intervene or know that you're having an issue. Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. This is Mr. Wingfield. Previously, I had a public defender by the name of Mrs. Lightfoot.
Mr. Whitfield, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's my understanding that you were represented by our office. You then sought to hire a private attorney, and now you want us to represent you again. If that's the case, that's fine. I received your number, and we will represent you, and I'm happy to speak with you. So if you want us to represent you, that's fine. We will.
Okay. But I got one more question. What calendar call is this? Is this just a regular calendar call, or is it a trial calendar call?
This is a backlog calendar. It's called Project Orca. I'll explain that to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. So if there are no other questions, the court will be in recess. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. God, how are you? Did I sound as terrible as I felt? Hold on one second.
Ms. Smith, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe that Mr. Vale is in the waiting room and waiting to be let back in. Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You have an announcement, Mr. Vale?
Yes, Your Honor. If I may, position 12, Mr. Reginald Wingfield. Mr. Wingfield wishes to request a jury trial and reject the state's offer. However, if the state could put the current offer on the record, we would appreciate that.
Okay. Ms. Marshall Strong and Mr. Henderson, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor. The case actually is Mr. Henderson's, but I went ahead and talked with both Mr. Vale and to the other attorney on the matter. The offer in this case is, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pull it back up. Mr. Henderson, you happen to have it close by?
The one I have written down is 12 months, served 90 days, balance probated, DVIP, no contact with victim. On count 2, 12 months probation concurrent, count 3, null pros.
Yes, that was the offer that was relayed.
Yes, and we are, again, we are rejecting that offer and requesting a jury trial.
Is he getting any credit for time served, Mr. Henderson?
I will have to look the credit for time served. I just don't have that in front of me.
Okay, and And I take it that 90 days that there's a history of, does he have any convictions for battery family violence in the past?
I can't access my notes, Your Honor, but obviously there would have been history and or nature of offense.
Your Honor, the main, obviously the jail time is an issue, but the main sticking point for us is simply the family violence charge and the consequences of that. And that is that's the reason why we're requesting the trial.
All right, thank you. Let's see, the case will be, given that a jury trial has been requested, the case will be returned to the division judge, and Mr. Wingfield will get notification of his next hearing date.
Thank you.
Has Mr. Wingfield been dismissed?
May he be excused?
Yeah, he can. I don't see him on here, so yes, he can be dismissed. Thank you. Any other announcements? Any other announcements?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Howard has the remainder of the announcements. We did have we have reviewed the applications.
Okay, thank you.
I could give you some on the position number 19. We'll complete a waiver of arraignment for her. And we'd ask that it be reset to the next available calendar here. The store needs additional information. I need additional information. So we may be able to resolve that.
That's correct, Your Honor. We have some information, but we are in need of an incident report. And the reason for that, though I'm able to work with the suspended license and revoked license charge, the defendant was taken to Grady Hospital via EMS. And until I see that incident report, I'd like to get some additional information to ascertain what the injuries were and how they were actually sustained on this charge of reckless driving.
Okay, so that case will be reset until March 2nd.
March 2nd. And Judge, we would have the same announcement for position number 29. Reset March 2nd, if possible, to see if we can resolve this once we have more information. And
okay.
And position 18 and 27 is not qualified. I believe he's waiting to potentially have a breakout with Marshall Story. But I advised him he didn't qualify, that solicitor wanted to speak with him to see if they can resolve that case today. That's Mr. Norman, and also Mr. Connor's position number
22.
Yes, position number 22. Judge, same thing. He doesn't qualify. He's going to speak with the solicitor to see if they can resolve that case, or if it's going to be a waiver, an arraignment.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, what was that position number?
That was 22.
22.
So,
thank you.
Would you all speak to position 22, Mr. Connor, and position 18 is Mr. Norman, who is also position 27. So if you can speak to those two people in regards to getting them an offer. Let's see, Mr. Norman, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay. Which one of you would like to speak with Mr. Norman?
Your Honor, I can, unless Mr. Howard would prefer that, but if I could be placed, if it's me, I'd prefer to be in the breakout room with him.
Mr. Bell, they don't qualify for your services. That's fine, but they would like to know what the offer is from the state. Okay.
Your Honor, once we can determine the status of the defendant's license, the state would be prepared to null pros the matter, but we don't know what that status is currently. If not, then we will have to come up with a plea offer that would at least at the minimum involve getting that status back into a valid place.
And to clarify, that is just for the suspended license charge.
The only other charge I see, unless I'm missing something, is the making the improper U-turn charge.
Okay.
Is that correct? That's what I see on the calendar for.
So he has 2 suspended license charges.
That's correct, Your Honor. And because they date from 2016, I would be curious to know if he currently has a valid license.
Mr. Norman,
Yes, sir.
can you activate your camera for me, please? I think you told us earlier that you do not have a valid license at the present time.
That is correct. I actually checked with the DDS. I have 2 failure to appears with Fulton County. I have to have those resolved before I could get my license reinstated.
Okay, how long do you think it's going to take you to do that?
I don't know how to, because the tickets that I have the failure to appears for are not what's on the calendar now. So I don't know how to go about getting those taken care of.
Okay, so I think what the prosecutor is saying is that what they care about is that you have a valid license, okay? So if you go ahead, I will give you time, but if you go and get your license reinstated, then you can work with the solicitor's office regarding their offers in the case, okay?
Definitely, yes, sir.
All right. So what I'm asking you is, how long would you like me to allow you to get those licenses before you come back to another court session?
Safe to say 2 months.
Okay, so you want 60 days?
Yes, sir.
What's the 60-day out calendar that we can put him on? That's strong. Okay, so we're gonna put you on the April 6th calendar.
Okay.
All right, and when you come back, Mr. Norman, remind me that we've already said, when you announce that you're here, remind me that you have already been here before and that you've been reset to get a license, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Your Honor, respectfully, if I may, is it perhaps worth Mr. Norman coming down to the courthouse, researching on Odyssey all of the cases that he may currently have to address, and we see if we can resolve them?
And that's fine. You don't have to wait till this calendar to resolve these cases, Mr. Norman. If you get a license, and are you telling me, Ms. Marshall Story, that he has other cases other than these 2?
Well, he just indicated that the license issues that he's having are not, 2 of them are not on this calendar. So I just made the assumption that there were 2 more pending out there that he might want to try to resolve.
Or they can be in another jurisdiction, right? Or
They're with Fulton County.
Okay, so whatever you need to do, Mr. Norman, try to get those resolved. If you have more than that, then is on the calendar now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you can, again, you can speak with the solicitor's office without being on a calendar here. So if you get it resolved beforehand, then that's, that would work too.
Okay.
All right. Any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. So we will see you next time. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you all. And Mr. Connor, are you on the line? All right, I don't see. Do you have Mr. Connor's number? Mr. Howard, would you ask him if he will log back on?
Yes, sir.
Have you all worked up an offer for Mr. Connor? Position 22.
Your Honor, the offer for Mr. Connor has been relayed to Attorney Derek. Derek, what's your last name? I have forgotten. Okay, but we did have an opportunity to talk, and that offer is 12 months probation, DVIP, no further contact. But if this is regarding number 22, I think I was told that he may not qualify for the public defender.
Right, and that's why he doesn't appear to be on the line with us, and I wanted to make sure that we addressed him today so that he would understand what his options are.
Yes, he's logging back on, Judge. I told
Okay.
him he'd have an opportunity to speak with Ms. Marshall's story about potential resolution today or not, depending on their conversation. He said he was gonna log back on.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Connor, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself? Okay. Again, as I said to begin with, Mr. Connor, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. It's my understanding that you have sought to the public defender this morning. You don't qualify for his services. I wanted to give you the opportunity to hear from the solicitor's office what the offer is in the case, and to let the court know what you how you would like to proceed. So do you understand what the offer is, Mr. Connor?
I probably need to explain what's the offer again. Probably don't remember most of it.
Okay, that's fine. Ms. Marshall Story, would you relate your offer?
Yes, Mr. Connor, good morning. The offer in this case to resolve your simple battery family violence matter is 12 months on probation. We would ask that you complete a domestic violence intervention program. We would also ask that you have no further contact with the victim in this case.
No. Well, in this case, I used to live.
Hold on, Mr. Connor. Again, you have a right to remain silent. So I suggest that as far as getting into the facts, that that you might not want to do that. So if you don't want to accept the offer, then your options would be a bench trial or a jury trial on the issue. If you want a bench trial on the issue, then I'd schedule that with me. If you want a jury trial, then that's going to be sent back to the division judge. And you would also have the opportunity to hire a private attorney if that's something that you want to do.
Okay.
So how would you like to proceed today?
Due to the 12 months required come to establishment to have a class or something like that?
The domestic violence intervention program class, I believe, is about 6 months long.
That's correct.
And you would be on probation while you are completing the class. Given what the offer is, I would waive the probation fees while you're on probation. And once you complete the class, I will allow the probation to go to a non-reporting status.
Okay. What I have to do for the program? That is.
Well, you would have to plead guilty to the charge of simple battery family violence, and after which you'd be set up on the probation, and the probation department would instruct you on how to get the program completed.
And what's the other option? What happens to the other option if I plead not guilty?
Okay, if you plead not guilty, if you desire a jury trial, which you have the right to do, this case is going to be returned to the division judge, and whenever they can get around to giving you a jury trial, they'll send you out a notice to appear at that point in time. So that would be somewhere down the line. If you want a bench trial on the issue, I would conduct that bench trial at a later calendar, at which time the state would present their case, and you would have the opportunity to cross-examine their witnesses, and you would have the opportunity to present your case.
Okay, I have a question about the case and the defendant.
Okay, well, you might want to get with Ms. Marshall's story and Mr. Henderson at a later time, if you have any specifics about the case itself. Again, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you, okay?
I understand.
Do you need some time to make up your mind as to what you want to do? Do you want to possibly consult with a private attorney to see what a family violence charge would mean for you?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that might be a good idea. So in that regard, I'm happy to reset you for another calendar to give you an opportunity to consult with the attorney. Whether you hire the attorney or not, if you want to consult with them to see how a simple battery family violence could affect you as a young man going forward, that might be in your best interest. And I'm happy to reset you possibly to the March 2nd calendar for you to make up your mind with regard to how you like to proceed. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
And Your Honor, the state would also like for the record to further reflect that on December 9th of 2019, Mr. Connor was set for a jury trial, but there was a warrant issued on that date. And so the state's offer will most definitely be no lower than it is today.
All right. So what's being said, Mr. Connor, is that you've been on a calendar before, and for whatever reason, you didn't show up. And was a bench warrant issued, Ms. Marshall's story at that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you don't want that to happen, is all I'm saying. So any other questions, Mr. Connor?
Yeah, I only had a question about the dependent situation, but I'm not sure if that's allowed to say in the court.
So you have a child with whoever you're not supposed to have contact with? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, it's about to buy defendant who I used to know, and in this situation that I just needed to tell to the prosecutor about it to see if I could turn down his case, but I try to resolve, as easy as possible.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm understanding or following you, Mr. Connor. Does this have something to do with the alleged victim in the case?
No.
All right, so this has something to do with another case altogether?
No, it's about this whole case that the dependent is deceased and all that. And I try to see, as any good way to resolve without, any more trouble and stuff like that.
I'm not following. The dependent, and who's dependent?
Your Honor, I believe what Mr. Connor is trying to say is that the victim in this case is deceased.
Oh, okay.
We have no knowledge of that. We don't have a death certificate on hand. So perhaps the case could be put on for a more recent calendar if he's able to obtain a copy of the death certificate. We would review that in light of the charges. If there is body cam, if there are pictures, obviously it's not the strongest case in the world, but we still could proceed.
Okay.
But we will make that determination if he's able to produce a death certificate.
Okay, well, you should be able to do that by March 2nd, right, Mr. Connor? So.
Yeah, I'll do my best to try to see if I get a hands-on the death certificate.
Okay, and if you do, you don't have to wait till March 2nd to get that information to the solicitor's office. You can go ahead on and contact one of the solicitors and provide them with that information.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I will do that, sir.
All right. So so we have a couple of things that I just want to summarize, Mr. Conner, you're going to work on. You're going to work on getting the death certificate by March 2nd, and you're going to work on speaking with an attorney by March 2nd when you come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything further for the court this morning, sir?
No.
All right. All right. You have a good day. We'll see you on March 2nd.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I believe that completes the 9 o'clock calendar. And again, I have Ms. Strong in court with me this morning. Would you all like to go over the calendar?
That's fine with me, Your Honor.
That's what we normally do. So
Okay.
all right.
Position number one.
Normally, I think that you all are muted down there. So
Okay.
oh, you're on
Can
your
they hear me?
laptop.
Oh. They can hear me.
Can you all hear Ms. Strong?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Position number one was null pros. Position number two will be reset for March the 2nd. Position number three will be reset.
That number 2, I thought I submitted a null pros for that.
April Marshall.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, so you okay, all right. We'll check. So
I'll check Mr. Henderson.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And if there's a reason attached that the court is aware of for the reset, is it too much to ask that that be stated?
All the cases for the Judge Morrow stated that the cases that will be reset for the FTAs will be reset for the next calendar to see if they'll appear.
I believe what Ms. Marshall's story wants is like position number 3, failure to appear, reset March 2nd.
Okay.
Is that correct, Ms. Marshall's
That
story?
is correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Number 3 is also a null pros, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Henderson.
Position number 4 was a null pros. Position number 5 was the FTA, so it will be reset for March the 2nd. Position number 6 was a null pros. Position number 7 was a null pros. Position number 8 was a null pros. Positions number 9 and 10 were a null pros as well. Position number 11 was a null pros. Position number 12 will be reset jury and will be sent back to Judge Morrison. Position number 13.
I'm sorry, so this case will no longer be on this particular calendar?
Correct.
Okay.
Position number 13 was the FTA, so it will be reset for March the 2nd. Position number 14 and 15 were null pros. Position number 16 was a null pros as well. Position number 17 was an
I'm
FTA.
sorry, number 16 was not a null pros. The offer was 12 months probation, DVIP, no further contact, and that would be concurrent.
Brickhouse is the one that I spoke with attorney Craig Murphy.
I'm sorry, is this Sunny Brickhouse number 16?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Henderson, you're saying no pros?
Yes, it was,
Okay.
they had completed all the conditions of diversion.
Okay, thank you.
Position number 17 was an FTA, so it'll be reset for March the 2nd. Position number 18 will be reset for April the 6th for Mr. Norman to bring in his documents to reinstate his driver's license. Position number 19 will be reset for March the 2nd. Was Ms. Cole to bring in, for you all to do further research for this case?
Yes, ma'am. It's for our office to ascertain the incident report.
Sure. Position number 20 will be reset for March the 2nd. This was an FTA. Position number 21 will be reset for March the 2nd. This was an FTA. Position number 22 will be reset for March the 2nd to speak with an attorney. Position number 23 will be reset for March the 2nd to see if we can find a better address. The notice was returned.
And I'm sorry, if we could go back to position number 22, and I'm doing this only to try to move the calendar forward. So at the next court date, we really can make some headway. But it was also for the defendant to bring in or present to the court a death certificate of the complaining witness.
Position number 24 will be reset for March the 2nd. The defendant is in the Fulton County Jail. 25 and 26 will be reset for March the 2nd. Both of those cases were FTAs. Position number 7, which is Mr. Norman as well, we will be reset for April the 6th to bring in his documents to reinstate his driver's license. Position number 28 will be reset for March the 2nd. That's an FTA. Position number 29 will be reset for March the 2nd. I'm sorry, I didn't get why Mr. Sperling.
Yes, our case, so just to, get
the
more
waiver.
information. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Just to get more information. For position 29, Ms. Marshall Short.
More information on my part.
No, it's reset March 2nd so that I can get more information. We can see if it's able to be resolved.
Okay.
That's our case.
Okay, so there's nothing further that the state needs to do to try to come to a resolution.
No, we just need discovery, we'll get discovery and everything from it.
Okay, and if I could go back 1 second to, I meant to do this earlier. Position number 28, that was March 2nd. Is that correct?
Correct, that was an FTA as well.
And it was an FTA, okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. So we're on position 30 and 31. Both of those cases will be reset for March the 2nd. Both of those are FTAs as well.
All right, any additional questions or concerns? If not, I guess I'll see you all at the 11:30 calendar in 15 minutes.
Okay, I do have one more, but it's a good one. Number 26, I'm going to go ahead and complete a null pros on that matter. The defendant was on compliance. It's a criminal trespass. We will just move forward. So I'll get that sent to you, Ms. Smith.
That would need to be sent to Ms. Strong. I'll send you.
I'm sorry, Ms. Strong. Ms. Strong.
You need me to send you my email, my information in the chat?
Sure, if you put it in the chat, does that also still need to go to Michael Johnson or just send it to you?
You just send it to me.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, I'll see you all in 15 minutes.
And Mr. Henderson, I'm going through to make sure that I have those null process for sure, okay?
Okay, I should have sent all of them to you.